I wasn't joking when I said if they want to give me an easy fight like Ren Hiramoto, I will gladly take it. He's 4-3. I have more finishes via choke than he has fights. I had the easiest weight cut of my professional career eating at 7-Eleven, Lawson, and Family Mart. So, I mean, I've never seen anything that clean for me to just go get right. Okay. I don't know what other fighters are doing, but you guys are wasting your time cooking. Just go to Family Mart. And Takeru was like, congratulations. I was like, oh my God. So it was just like, aside from Sabatello, Kafaro's like the most entertaining foreigner in terms of trash talk. And I was like, do not compare me to Danny Sabatello.
Ryan, it's good to talk to you.
Thank you for having me.
You're doing a great job on SNS, on X in general, and also great job promoting yourself and self-producing yourself, and I really enjoy watching it.
Thank you. This is a weird question. Why is it called SNS in Japan?
Is it not called SNS over there in the States?
Just social media in the States. Is SNS like specific for like Twitter, or is that just stand for social media in general?
I think it's in all social media in general. I don't know what it's social network something, from what I understand.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that before until I started preparing for this fight. So then I kept seeing SNS and I was like, I wonder what that is, but very interesting.
That's so crazy. I thought it was like an American word that came to Japan, but
maybe, but I don't think so because I've never heard of it and I've been on social media my entire adult life. So
it's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah.
How was Japan, by the way? How'd you like it?
I mean, it was amazing. It was just completely different from anything I have ever experienced in my life, from the food to the culture to the environment, even the architecture I found interesting. It was really cool visiting like some of the temples and then even just like the venue that I fought in. Like early on in the trip, I kept posting about things that I was like excited about, like random strawberries. And then I remember somebody tweeted something like, oh, it's like as if it reminds me of like a soap opera with somebody time traveling from the Edo time period. I thought that was pretty funny.
Right. Was that your first time in Japan?
Yes, my first time. I've been to, as far as Asia, I've been to Korea twice. Once when I was 10 years old, and then once right before the pandemic to corner Frankie Edgar against the Korean Zombie. And then I've been to a hotel room in Singapore twice with Eddie Alvarez because I had to corner him during the pandemic. So I didn't get to leave the hotel room or see any part of Singapore.
Right. That sucks.
Yeah, that was awful. That was 10 days of being in basically a prison. We actually got 15 minutes less airtime than prisoners when we were there. So that was insane. Wild trip.
Yeah. I guess it's good that you had a good time in Japan. How was the food? What did you like?
Incredible. I said this publicly, but I lost all of the weight that I lost, and I had the easiest weight cut of my professional career eating at 7-Eleven, Lawson, and Family Mart. So, I mean, like in terms of the quality of the food, I mean, like I couldn't make eggs better myself. I literally only cooked the day before weigh-ins because I had to make sure there was no salt in my food. But aside from that, I ate at Lawson's, Family Mart, 7-Eleven every single day.
Dude, that's crazy. You cut weight with 7-Eleven food? That's insane.
I mean, I've never seen anything that clean for me to just go get like 2 soft-boiled eggs, an onigiri, a bag of chicken thigh, and then pickled vegetables. Like it was the easiest thing I've ever done.
Right. Okay.
I don't know what other fighters are doing, but you guys are wasting your time cooking. Just go to Family Mart.
That's so crazy. I never heard of that, but that's insane. Yeah. So the quality of food in the convenience stores in Japan is just better than the States? Oh, do they even have convenience stores over there? Not really, right?
Yeah, we have 7-Elevens, but like if you are eating food from a 7-Eleven in America, like you are looked at like, are you okay? Like, is everything okay in your life? Like if you ordered like hot chicken from 7-Eleven, people look at you like, these are the decisions you make in your life? Really? Yeah, it's like you wouldn't even consider touching chicken from 7-Eleven in America. And like I was eating, yakitori sticks from 7-Eleven. I was eating the one family chicky I had was just out of this world. I'm still thinking about it. I don't think I've eaten chicken since I've gotten back, and I don't think I want to eat chicken until I go back to Japan. You guys just do it better in terms of keeping it juicy and flavorful. It's just not even close. Checkers versus chess.
That's interesting because 7-Eleven and like convenience store foods for us is like, okay, so we had nothing else, and that's what we decided to grab for lunch because we just had no other option, this kind of thing. And it's just convenient, but it's not something we'd be like, oh, that was so delicious. You know?
Me and all my teammates, when they got there, they were just like, you can just eat this anytime. And I was like, yeah, they're on every corner. There's so much attention to detail in the way that the Japanese culture does even just what you guys would consider an easy grab food. Whereas, easy grab food here is, in comparison, barely what you would consider edible.
Did anything else surprise you about Japan?
I would say the fact that nobody really bumped into me while we were walking, because it looks like a mass of people is going to hit you like a tidal wave, and then nobody manages to hit each other. So that caught me off guard. And then actually there was one place we went to, one of the stores, like a martial arts store, to pick up RIZIN gloves. And from the staircase, we looked out a window and there was a ton of trash in one backyard. And that kind of made me sad. I remember everywhere I went, it was super, super clean. And then there was just this one backyard that was just littered with trash. And I was like, this can't be like Japanese people. This has to be like the work of like foreigners or something like that. Because, it just seems like, the Japanese people I've spoke to were so proud of their clean culture and things like that. So the only thing I could theorize was this was probably the work of somebody who is not originally from Japan, because it was gross, and it reminded me of like when I lived in Philadelphia.
Right. Have you been to Tokyo and like Shinjuku? Were you in that area?
Yeah, so I was in I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Damn it, this is going to bother me where I was staying. I'm going to actually look it up.
Okay, sure, no problem.
I can check my Airbnb history. Oh, I was in Ikebukuro.
Oh, okay, Ikebukuro there. Hi.
Yeah. So I was in Ikebukuro, and then I was like traveling around a lot. So I went to like a bunch of different places. Once I started using the subway system, it was an absolute blast. I went all over the place. A guy named Issa MMA sent me to Jobin's bar. So that was cool to see that.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I saw you.
Yeah. Because once I got to Japan, I was like, oh, I got to see this place, got to see that place. And then somebody was like, oh, you have to go meet Jobin. It'll be good for you. And I was like, I had seen when I was tweeting about it earlier that some people were like, you should stay away from Jobin. He's a weirdo. And I was like, I don't know what's happening here. And then I went over to Jobin's bar. He wanted me to wear his shirt. So then I like took my shirt off, and then he was like, oh, like, hang on one second. Like took a picture of me with my shirt off. And I was like, okay. And then he posted like me with the Jobin shirt on and my shirt off, and that was pretty funny. And then people in the comments were like tweeting stuff like, he's gay, right? And it was like, yeah. So it was funny, but he was super nice to me, and it was fun. But then I also went to Vasilius Gym, which unfortunately was closed. But I actually had somebody go back and get me the walkout jersey so I could wear it when I walked out for my fight. I wanted it to be black, but all they had was yellow. So I was like, screw it, I'll just go with what they got. And it was cool. I really enjoyed it. I'm sure some people know this now. It's not the first time I've walked out wearing Vasilius Gym gear. I did it when I won the CFFC title. I had ordered one from Japan for like way more money to get it like proxy shipped to the US, because I was like a pretty hardcore, like, I'm a big Takeru fan, but I'm also, I love Masaki Nori striking, and, Yuki Yosa's the coolest ever, obviously. So I definitely follow like all those guys. So I would like post that I was like wearing, I would like tag them, and then I would see that they had just looked at it, and I would be like, yo, Masaki Nori looked at it. He looked at it. So I was like, I was pumped about that. So then when Takeru was like, congratulations, I was like, oh my God. So it was just like, yeah. So it was pretty wild. Just like every day I was in Japan, something crazier was happening that was generating traction for me on social media that I just couldn't believe. I was like, my teammate Matt with me was just like, what is going on? I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And then like I'm like tweeting stuff, and everyone's like, he's so clever, he's so funny, this can't be him, right? And I'm like, well, this is just what I said. Like, what is happening? Yeah, so it was just pretty crazy to me.
Right.
This is what's going on.
Yeah, so it's like kind of a happy accident. So a couple of things I want to go over in that whole segment. So, I mean, you're doing a great job on X, and then a lot of people are saying like, not a lot of people, but there's some speculation where like, you just got this Japanese manager doing all the clever shit. It's like, so it's just making sure it's none of that.
Yeah, I mean, my manager is a white guy named Brian Butler. I mean, I think he's actually got like Chinese descent. I think he's actually somehow related to Bruce Lee. I could be wrong about that, but he's definitely not Japanese. So I have a friend at home who speaks Japanese. Whenever I want to say something in Japanese, I'll use Google Translate, and then I double check with him. And I'm like, is this correct? And then he'll be like, that word's wrong, correct that. Like, for example, my most recent post that went pretty popular was I shared Ren's fight, his fight on YouTube. I shared that, and I saw it. I was like, I bet I can think of something funny to say about this. And then I was like, reading the comments, and people were saying, oh, it's so boring. The crowd made no noise. You could hear the air conditioning unit in there. So then I wrote like if you guys are having trouble falling asleep in Japan, why not play this beautiful ambiance video? Because you can hear the air conditioning, the silent crowd. It'll help you put you to sleep. And then like everybody thought that was the funniest thing. And they were like, this is way too clever. Somebody's telling them what to write. And that's the thing. I'm just getting lucky. I'm getting lucky here. Like, I've told this to people before, like, I deserve to be in RIZIN for my skill, but in terms of like the popularity stuff, I'm literally just saying something and then they find it hilarious, and I'm just getting lucky on those. So it's just been like divine intervention. I don't know why the Japanese fan base finds me so interesting, but I also just feel like I have been waiting for this moment my entire career to be appreciated and to show my true character. And I feel like the Japanese fans are the first ones to really appreciate that. So I can go like all out and really show who I am. And I think that's what makes it so fun for me and so exciting for them at the same time.
Yeah, so you're probably just genuinely a funny guy. I guess we're attracted to it, and it's great. And also, I mean, you only had one fight so far, but it was very entertaining. So I definitely want to ask you about that fight. But one more thing. It's very impressive that you can use the train system in Japan. You had no problems? Like, it was okay?
Oh, no, I had problems. I definitely had problems. Yeah, like got completely sent in the other directions. And then eventually I made friends with somebody who was like helping me around a little bit. So like, but when he could. And then once I just figured out, to go to a couple of places, then we kind of stayed within our wheelhouse. But like the first day I had a friend tour me around and show me a couple of places, and then he had to go back to work. But after that, we basically stayed local in the area that I was in.
Right. What do you think about the trains like coming right on time? Like if it's like 5 minutes late, we're all freaking out. Did you notice that?
I never experienced it while I was here. Like, so because of the language barrier, I couldn't really tell when something was or wasn't on time, but I just noticed that there were trains constantly. So for me, like if it was late, I certainly wouldn't notice. And if it was 3 minutes late, then I definitely wouldn't notice it. And I wouldn't notice anybody freaking out about it just because, I just feel like the Japanese public is so reserved publicly. I've never seen anyone get outraged or even make a loud noise unless they were drunk. So that was also another big culture shock to me. So like the first week, it was me and my coach and teammate Matt Turnbull. We were there for a full week. So by the end of the week, we were both pretty quiet in comparison. And then my American teammates got to the airport, and my teammate Billy Markle is a loud individual. And he gets off the plane in the airport and goes, RKC, baby, welcome. I was like, yo, shut up, shut up, shut up. And I'm like Japanese people are looking like startled, like they've been hit by like a stun gun. And I'm looking around going like, I'm looking at everybody going like, Gomennasai. It was super funny. So like, it was just, all of it was just wild.
Yeah. Japanese were very, well, I think the culture is like we don't want to disturb anyone else more than anything. So that's why everyone's kind of like in their own little world. So yeah, if like in the case of your buddy, if him just being really loud, would definitely everyone would just stare at him. That's just what's gonna happen.
At least people were laughing. They were like, because you could tell that I was like embarrassed telling him like, shut up. So, but in my older age at 36, I've come to appreciate that lifestyle of like not bothering other people more than you could imagine. So like maybe if I was some young hotshot 21-year-old, I might be like, you guys are boring or something. But no, it's I appreciate that. And like, I've dealt with such rude, obnoxious stuff and living in Philadelphia for 5 years, people blasting loud music down the street at 3 a.m, all that stuff. So it's like the ideal way I would want to live in a respectful community. So
another thing that surprised me was that like you're like a Takeru fan, and you just said you're a Yoza and Noedi fan. But from what I understand, you had a couple Muay Thai fights. So is that kind of like where you got your interest in K1 or Muay Thai or like striking arts in general?
No, because I actually originally started MMA. I guess my original base was a wrestler. I wasn't very good though. I was very, very average in high school. I mean, granted, an average wrestler in New Jersey is usually a much higher level wrestler than any other state, aside from like a couple of them like Pennsylvania, California, New York, stuff like that. But in terms of like New Jersey, we're all some of the best wrestlers in the country. And then I ran into a guy at my gym when I was like a one fight amateur, and his name is Wasim Saad, and he fought pro Muay Thai in like Boston back in like the 90s, early 2000s. This was like the underground scene. There wasn't even a sanctioning body for Muay Thai back then. So he trained in Boston, and he also trained in Morocco. So he had like a Elias Blade sort of like machine gun style of Muay Thai where it's fast and hard and nonstop. And that kind of like really piked my interest into striking. And then as I, you know, my MMA career went on, I did Muay Thai after I lost my first pro title fight because I got out wrestled really bad. And I got really frustrated. And I was like, well, then maybe I'll just do like a striking fight and go from there. And then I ended up doing an amateur Thai fight. It was called Class A. So it's like full rules except wearing elbow pads.
Right.
And then I beat the guy so bad that I was like, I have to go pro. So then I went pro my next fight, and I fought in Madison Square Garden at their Hulu theater. It's like a smaller theater. Like Vasily Lomachenko's fought there before other people have fought there. Yeah, and then I fought one more fight. It was actually a rematch of that fight in California, and I lost a decision of that. So I'm actually, my record in Muay Thai is 1-0 as an amateur and then 1-1 as a pro Thai fighter. But then, you know, I was always following the Thais and seeing the Thais do what they do. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I started seeing Thais getting dropped with calf kicks and getting hit with the toe stab kick that Matsushima was stabbing me with. Is it called the Meguri?
It's called Mikazuki Geri.
Oh, Mikazuki, that's what it was. Yeah. But yeah, so then that's what kind of what like piked my interest was seeing, you know, you've seen traditional Thai style for so long, and then all of a sudden you see pressure kickboxers like Yoza, like Takeru doing stuff like that. And that's what really started sending me down that rabbit hole.
Right. Okay, I get it. And then now you're kind of just, well, from what we kind of like our perspective, you're like a Takeru diehard fan.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. And it was so cool to see him fight live in his last fight. That was insane.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah. So I tweeted about it. I was like, I'd love to go to this. And then somebody was like, you know, it's in Tokyo. And then I was sitting there and I was like, wait, I'm in Tokyo. And then I looked on tickets online and they were more than, you know, affordable. And then I was training at Hearts MMA, and one of the members there spoke English and knew how to get to that stadium, because they said it's like a very difficult stadium to get to if you don't know how to get there. Like you have to take like public transit, you have to take a bus to get there and the train. So I was like, I'll buy your ticket if you come with us. So then it was me, my teammate Matt, and then this other guy, and we all went to watch the fights together. And like, it was funny too, because it was only like my third or fourth day there. So it devastates me. In the middle of like some of the fights, I'm falling asleep.
Oh yeah. And
then I'm waking up because I'm so jet lagged. But like, I'm like falling asleep, waking up, and then I stay awake for Haggerty Yoza because it was insane. The next time, like, kind of nodding off again, and then Takeru's fight comes on, and that was my first experience hearing like the Japanese crowd. You know, in America, it's just rowdy. It's just like, you know, they're screaming all the time, and then if it's boring, you'll hear people yell in the crowd like, grab his dick and twist it, like, you know, just horrible stuff. Yeah. People will try to yell stupid shit to get a reaction from the other people in the crowd, or they'll boo if there's no action going on. So like, it was weird hearing how quiet a packed arena will get. And then to hear the exact opposite when Takeru was fighting. Every Japanese fan was going crazy from start to finish. By the end of it, I'm like, Takeru, like screaming along with everybody. So it was like super cool. And then I took an awesome picture of him doing the backflip midair. And then I posted that. And then it was just like, yeah, it was a crazy, crazy thing. And then when I did my open workout for RIZIN, somebody asked me, like, are you affiliated with Takeru? And I was like, no, I'm just a super fan. And then they quoted me on that. And then it ended up on the front page of Yahoo News before I'd even fought. That was another moment where I was like, what is happening? Like, why am I didn't even fight yet. Why am I here? So
right.
Yeah, like it was like no matter what I did, everybody found it interesting, even if it was an accident.
Yeah, you kind of made this momentum, and there was a lot of hype before you even fought. Was that like a lot of pressure?
Yeah. And I even said that. I said in an interview, I was like, I have put so much pressure on myself. I have to perform. I have like a notebook that I bring with me to all of my fights. And I wrote in it specifically, I said, May 10th, I will defeat Matsushima in a fight that the Japanese fans will remember for a lifetime. I said that word for word. And then in the fight, I got him in a front headlock. I started kneeing him, and then he did like a sit through, and my arm started getting extended. And just in a panic, I front rolled, and I heard the crowd going oohing and ahhing in the first like 20 seconds. I was like, fight of a lifetime, here we go. So it was like, I kind of like mentally was like, you better buckle up because, you know, you're going to get what you signed up for. So, and then it just ended up being an insane fight.
Yeah, it was a crazy fight. I thought he had you a couple of times, especially in the first round. I think he head kicked you and he rocked you pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was going to end almost there, but.
It was interesting too because like getting hit with the stabbing kick to the gut, like the first one, I remember being like, oh, that's what that feels like. And then the second one, it like thudded. It felt like somebody had stabbed me in the gut, but I flexed and I timed it perfectly. So I was like, good, I can eat these. And then he hit me with the body kick. And I was like, all right, I'm getting your timing. The fourth one you throw, I'm going to catch it and I'm going to wreck you. And then that's when he went high with the head kick. And I was like, here it is, bang. And it hit me so flush. I don't even remember the hook. I don't remember the hook. I just remember getting hit with the head kick and then being like, survive. And then all of a sudden I'm on the ground. So now, that being said, even though I knew I was losing the fight, I never felt like I was going to lose the fight. There was never a point in the fight where I was like, it's over, you're done for. Like in the first round, we finished the round and my coach comes up. He's like, hey, you've been here before. Like he's tired now. Are you ready to like stop getting kicked in the head and go win? And I was like, yeah. And then by the end of round 2, I knew that round was closer. I can't believe one judge scored that 10-8, which I thought was crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah. I was like, come on, I rocked him once, like, and did some cool stuff. Like, give me a little credit. But then going into the third, my coach was like, look at him, he is dying. I felt like there was a level of desire between us that was just completely different. And I just felt like, you know, he was there to prove something to maybe naysayers, and I was there to prove something to myself that, like, I really belong here. And I just knew in my head, I was like, this is my one shot to, like, really show everybody what I'm capable of. And I am not going to blow this. And I would rather go out on my shield than lose this opportunity. And I just feel like that was the difference, was like my desire to win was just far greater than anything he brought to the table from a skill standpoint.
Yeah, and you kind of pulled it off because you submitted him in that last round. And if he hadn't done that, he would have took the decision, right?
100%. It was not a close fight. I mean, I'll be honest, and everybody knows it. It was a one-sided beatdown for the most part. I was definitely proud of my heart. I would definitely like to not get hit as much next time. So if I can work on that, I'd be super proud of myself. My coaches always make this joke. They're like, we think you do it on purpose now. Like, if you could stop getting rocked and scaring us and then go win the fight, I would appreciate that. So that's kind of like my goal for my next fight, is to actually go out there and not get hurt and win without doing that.
I mean, ideally that would be better, but the way the fight played out definitely made a bigger statement for you. Like, it's a fight we would all remember.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though, is like, I feel like Koyomi's stock went up as well. Like, people really got to see how good he really is, and I was happy about that. But at the end of the day, I wanted him to do well as well. Like, he's a super quiet, respectful guy. I have nothing but love and admiration for him. You know, the way he carries himself, I really appreciate it. You know, not everybody's cut out to just be open about themselves in public.
Right.
And I don't blame people for wanting to stay private. We're just different people. But at the end of the day, he's a super respectful martial artist, and I respect that.
Yeah, he doesn't get the credit he deserves, probably because, I mean, this was his first fight in RIZIN. Also, he kind of has a history of kind of like belittling RIZIN fighters in the past.
Yeah. Didn't they play that clip in like his walkout?
Yeah, they played it for
him saying that.
They call it an Audi V, which is like the introduction of both fighters and like the story of the fight, like a 3-minute, 2-minute video.
Yeah, I remember seeing that clip and being like, that's trash talking RIZIN, isn't it? I thought that was kind of like, I was like, oh shit, that puts a lot of pressure on him. So
yeah, RIZIN, they do a great job. I mean, that one's, I think, more mild. Like, do you know a fighter called Ogi Kubo? He's in the flyweight division. He's the champion now.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, so like he's called like Salt because his fights are so boring. He just lays in praise. So like his whole thing was like, your fights are so fucking boring. They call him Shio, which is salt. Like, because salt is like, in Japan we make like tsukemono, which we like kind of soak it in like salt and stuff to make it like a pickle. Do you know what tsukemono is?
Oh, but it has to sit in salt.
Yeah, so yeah, you just kind of lay and pray and sit. So it's like your salt. So like they use that for this for his introduction is like Shio Ogikubo. Like your fights are boring.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, RIZIN's brutal.
Yeah, that's insane. I can't imagine that happening in the States or something. Do they call Danny Sabatello some sort of salt or anything? Because I know a lot of people have been criticizing him.
His character is not salt because he did his character's so strong. He's just kind of this trash talking asshole. So like his fights are boring. Like I think a lot of people agree with that. Like Shio, like Shiaiga Shio. It's just boring, but he's not like called salt himself. Like,
I saw one tweet that got on my nerves because like somebody was like, "Oh, aside from Sabatello, Kafaro's like the most entertaining foreigner in terms of trash talk," and I was like, "Do not compare me to Danny Sabatello in terms of trash talk. Like we are not even in the same solar system when it comes to the skill of what we can say behind a keyboard. Like I say funny stuff, Danny goes, 'Fuck you.' And I'm like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like it works for him. That's cool. But like, we're not playing the same sport here. Like, don't compare me to that.
I wouldn't even call yours trash talking, to be honest. It's not really trash talking. Like it's just funny, but like, Sabatello is a different thing. Yeah.
I don't like to trash talk. I like to back things up with facts. I like to, you know, I do my ample homework on opponents. I'm not just going to be like, you're a bitch for no reason. It doesn't make sense to me. That just feels like it's low-hanging fruit that only attracts, you know, what do they call them? The Hirai-chan or whatever? Yeah, Hirai-chan. There you go.
Oh, bro. So, this is so funny. Like, I don't know how much you know about this Japanese MMA internet world, but it's just hilarious talking to you.
I'm learning very quickly from the Hirachiru to the assassins and all that stuff. I'm picking up on it really quick. And then I like watch them like war with each other about my statements where I'm like, hey, fight me. And then all the assassins are like, oh, you should stop ducking Kafaro. And then when Ren Hiramoto acknowledges me, then they're like, oh, well, Kafaro sucks. So I don't know why you're. So it's very strange to watch this like weird dynamic between these two groups of fans that I'm like, what is up with you guys? So it's, and then there's a small subgroup of fans that call Sean Brady a god, which I thought was super interesting. Like the magma, our god. And I was like, sweet. I told Sean about that. Sean was like, what the fuck? So it's super fun, like going back and telling all my friends like everything that's going on here in Japan.
I mean, the more you delve into it, the more I think interesting it would get. Like Asashi and Hirachi, you kind of get the picture of those two, right? Like one's Mikuru's fans, one's like Hiramoto diehard fans, and they're just kind of battle each other the whole time. But yeah, basically you called out Ren, and Ren kind of agreed. So what the Asashins are doing is if Ren beats you, they don't want to give him anything. So they're like, no, Ryan's actually not that good. You know, that's kind of like the route they go. Right. Which is, it's just funny to see. But I mean, it's just Japanese MMA Twitter world that you'll probably get into.
Oh yeah. Before that, it was like every Japanese fan was like super respectful for like weeks. Nobody said anything negative about me until I talked about Ren Hiramoto. And then all of a sudden it was like, he's a 36-year-old bum with no career ahead of him, all this stuff. And now I'm at home. I was like, now I feel like I'm in America again. We're so back.
Yeah, it's going to happen if you tangle with either like Hiramoto or Mikuru, like one of the popular fighters, like, because, you know, I think it's like that all over the world. The popular fighters have the diehard fanatics that follow them. Yeah. And then it's just going to attract those kind of people, and you're kind of going to get tangled into that, which is a good thing, though. You're getting that's a lot of publicity.
Yeah, I mean, even just Ren acknowledging me on social media, I gained 1,000 followers overnight.
Yeah, geez.
just from one tweet from him, just from him being like, yeah, I'll fight this guy. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm very interested to see how this plays out. After your fight with Koyomi, there was like this short video, I think on RIZIN's YouTube channel, I believe, and you were like saying, I love it here. Unlike One Championship, or like unlike those idiot fans in America. Like, what do you have against One Championship?
So I just had an adrenaline dump, first off. So when I went to the One Samurai event, they kept playing clips of Chatri talking about, oh, I grew up in Japan, or like my mom used to take me to Japan in the summer. And then every time he was on the microphone, he kept yelling, I love Japan. I love Japan. I love Japan. And I was like easy, freak. Like you're pushing it a little hard here. You know what I mean? Like it just felt like it didn't sound genuine. It sounded desperate. That's what it sounded like to me. Right. And I mean, I know a lot of, you know, financial issues are going on in One. They can act like it's not. Don't get me wrong. They have some of the greatest fighters in the world. There's no arguing that. But how long can this facade of borrowing other people's money go on for? And like, that's what kind of bothered me so much about Chatri. It just felt disingenuous. I remember I asked my friend at home, I was like, how do I say Chatri seems to love Japan? Like, does he love Japan? I can't tell. I think he really loves Japan, because when I wrote it in Google Translate, it came off as though I was like, wow, Chatri really loves Japan. And I was trying to figure out, so I had to like, I was like, how do I be sarcastic about this? So then when I tweeted something about it, it was like, it finally got the message across. But like, I needed help from my friend to show that like, I was actually not buying what he was selling.
Right. Yeah, sarcasm is a difficult thing. I have a hard time getting my point across sarcastically in Japanese as well. So it's going to be quite a challenge here. I think in general, sarcasm, it's not as big of a thing we're used to. Japanese people opposed to the States. Yeah. So
I thought that was funny too, because when I first started talking about, like I was watching the press conference with Ren and Asakura, and they were going back and forth, and I thought it was weird that Ren kept calling him bald. And I was like, he has a full head of hair. What are you talking about? I was super confused by that. So then I asked, I was like, what is the context here? I don't understand. And then I said in the comment section, I was like, I'm going to call Matsushima loud and obnoxious if that's what we're doing, because that makes just as much sense as Ren calling Asakura bald.
Right.
And then people actually posted pictures of Asakura's hairline, and I was like, ooh, okay. Thanks. I was like, okay, I kind of get it now. So, but yeah, so.
Yeah, I think that's what makes you likable, though, because you don't understand, and then you just ask the fans, and the fans give you the information, and then you react to it, which is kind of this natural dynamic and this engagement with fans that you kind of got going, which is great.
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of fans find you attractive. It's very entertaining for the fans to be able to interact with you directly, and then you actually react to it.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, as we've been going, though, I've been learning more and more and more. So then when I kind of like figured out, you know, all the details and watched a lot of tape on Ren and stuff like that, when I kind of put out like, hey, these are reasons A, B, and C why he should fight me if he really wants to go to the UFC, if he really wants to do this, like, you are running out of options, my friend. Like, I'm your best shot. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like I'm getting to the point now where I almost know too much, where I don't have that much left to ask the fans. So I gotta, maybe I should pull back and start asking some weird questions like, why did Kate Lotus's gloves sell for so much money? Unfortunately, I think I know why, but
yeah, Kate Lotus glove sells for quite a bit. I think your gloves sold like a little bit over Koji's, like 100 yen over Koji's. I think I saw this somewhere on X.
That's a pretty big deal, right? And they sold more than the defending champ, Nazimov's.
Did they? Sorry, I didn't see that information. Oh, good for you. That's cool.
I think Nazimov sold for like 500, and I think mine were like 550 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a popularity thing, right? At the end of the day, how much you could sell your gloves for.
Yeah, which I thought was super interesting. I'm glad somebody found my my gloves that interesting, because there's some blood on them for sure. So
right. Okay, so after the fight, you took the mic and you called out Ren. You're like Hiramoto-chan and all that good stuff. But even before that, though, you kind of like, you know, taking jabs at Ren on X and stuff. But like, what is it that you have against Ren?
Basically, what it comes down to is just, I feel like he's trying too hard to be too popular with a fan base that I don't like or appreciate. Mm-hmm. It's this new wave of MMA guys. Like, he's trying to appeal to the guys that grew up watching Conor McGregor. Mm. And I'm trying to appeal to the guys that grew up watching Genki Sudo, Rumina Sato, Chuck Liddell, Rampage Jackson. You know what I mean? Like, we're two completely different generations. And I don't really like the shit that he pulls and the antics that he does. You know what I mean? I remember being so angry at Wayne's when he kicked his opponent in the back. I was like, what? Yeah, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, not only is it a scumbag, like it's a bitch move, but you've also easily jeopardized your opponent. Just made weight a couple of hours ago. Your body's not 100%, and you kick him in the back. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen fights get canceled for far less. You know what I mean? Jeremy Stevens shoved someone in the face and herniated a disc in the guy's neck.
Yeah.
And then that fight got canceled. So it's like, when you kick somebody in their low spine, like basically stomp them in the back, it's like, you're just asking to ruin your fight. And then now the fans who came to see you do your goofy little boxing fight now don't get to see you even do that. So it's like, I was livid. So that's when I was sitting there at Wayne's and I tweeted, like, what kind of asshole does this? At least kick him in the front.
Right.
You know, like, be a man about it. Kick him in the front. Like, it was very breaking down to me.
Oh, gosh, so you know breaking down as well.
I've been doing, like I said, I've been doing my research. First off, I hit the breaking down machine at the arcade.
Oh, okay.
And then they were like, Ryan knows about breaking down. I was like, what's breaking down? And then I started looking into it, and I was like, oh, this is like street beefs in America.
Street beefs?
But is that
the YouTube channel?
So Street Beefs is basically, do you know that YouTuber Winged C?
I don't, sorry.
Okay, so Winged C is a white guy who does he references a lot of anime. He has a tattoo of a headband on his head.
Jeez.
Like a literal tattoo. Yeah. And he has a really entertaining style, but they fight in a backyard, in like a caged-in backyard in grass. And that's what Street Beefs is in America. So then when I saw breaking down that it's these 1 minute slugfests in a group of, like in a crowd of people, I was like, oh, this is basically Street Beefs, but 1 minute rounds. Yeah, so that was kind of my impression of it. If I had to compare it to something, or like combined with like whatever Dan Hooker does in New Zealand, his 1 minute fights.
Oh, he has that in what? There's actually a 1 minute fight thing in New Zealand? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dan Hooker runs one as well. There's like basically 3 different Street Beefs breaking down, and then Dan Hooker's 1 minute fights or whatever. I don't know what the organization is called, but it's people just brawling in a backyard.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so that's interesting. I didn't know that existed anywhere else. Is it popular over there?
I don't know about Dan Hooker's, but I mean, like Mighty Mouse broke down one of a couple of Street Beefs fights before.
Okay.
On his YouTube channel.
Right.
So like it's actually surprisingly popular. So like if I actually look up Street Beefs has 4.5 million subscribers.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Sorry. That's a lot of subscribers, huh?
Yeah, I mean, and like their most popular videos, like some of them have like 52 million views on YouTube, 20 million views.
I gotta check that out.
Educate yourself. It's a wild time.
Yeah, so breaking down, that's a whole nother world right there. It's kind of interlinked with RIZIN a little bit because breaking down fighters have been coming into RIZIN. But it's kind of like the martial art fans don't really look at breaking down, so like they don't think so well of it in general. And then the breaking down guys.
Well, that makes sense.
The breaking down guys, I know you guys got to acknowledge us and respect us because we're fighting for our lives as well. And it's kind of like this whole dynamic has been going ever since the beginning of breaking down, which is I find entertaining. I like messing with the breaking down guys a little bit too much.
Yeah,
like it's probably not so good, but it's just entertaining.
I mean, like I will be realistic about it. If there are opportunities for a guy from an organization like Street Beefs or Breaking Down to get popular and actually showcase his skills on like a real venue like RIZIN, it's a catch-22 because it's like it's good exposure to RIZIN. It definitely draws more eyes to the venue, but on the other hand, it's like, are these the eyes that we want to be drawing to our organization to hear these trashy kids who are into seeing stuff like this?
Yeah,
if you don't have the attention span to pay attention to a fight that lasts longer than 1 minute, it's like, are you an iPad baby? Like, what is this? So yeah, it's interesting.
It is interesting. It's an interesting world, and the world is changing very fast. And how old were you again?
I'm 36.
Oh,
so
okay.
I grew up watching, like, I remember one of the first pay-per-views I ever wanted to order was Andrei Arlovsky versus Tim Sylvia, like 2.
Jeez.
Yeah, so like you're talking like I was watching UFC like 71 or something like that. The first pay-per-view we ever ordered, my friends and I, was Matt Hughes versus George St. Pierre in the rematch.
Okay, the second one?
Yeah, so like that's how far back I go. I was in high school watching Frankie Edgar make his UFC debut, being like, oh, this guy's from Jersey, go Frankie. And then fast forward, 7-8 years later, I'm cornering him in Korea. That's why like all of this is so crazy to me, because none of it feels real. Like I grew up watching my idols, and then I'm coaching my idols, and then I'm going to basically the motherland of where I saw guys like Eddie Alvarez make their names. And then I'm competing there, and then, doing what I did in front of a crowd like that. So it's insane.
It must feel like it's a crazy journey.
And what's craziest about it to me too is like I'm at home. So I wake up and I go to the grocery store and nobody knows me. Like, I'm just a normal guy here. I'm kind of like sitting here. I'm like, do you guys know I'm kind of popular in Japan? I'm kind of a big deal in Japan. It feels like I had a 2-week-long dream and that I just woke up.
Right.
That's what it feels like. And then like I check my phone and I'm like, no, wait, that's real. It's real.
That's very interesting because, it's a whole other world if you go back home. But then if you walk around Japan now, people will probably recognize you. They want to take pictures with you.
Yeah. I mean, I was working out in a park in Ikebukuro, and a fan messaged me like, were you working out in a park? And I was like, what? Yeah. So I also feel like it's honestly the best of both worlds, because if I actually had to deal with fans on the street while I'm interacting with like my child and stuff like that, I don't think I would be as appreciative. So it's nice that there is a separation from like my real life to when I go to Japan again.
Right.
You know what I mean? I get to be like a celebrity there for a couple weeks, and then I get to go back to living my normal life with my wife and kid.
You can get like a quick break. I mean, it's mainly over there, and then you come over here for your fights, I guess would be the thing.
Yeah. But then, man, I get to take it in Japan. It was so cool. After the open workout, I was like, so do I get to like sign autographs and give stuff out? Because that's what fans told me to do. Like after your open workouts, people like give away stuff. And I was like, okay. So I brought tons of stuff. And then I did my open workout. And then they were like, all right, you're done. You can leave. And I was like, well, I wanted to give all this stuff away to fans. When do I do that? And they were like, oh, we'll have you wait here. And then 150 people lined up for autographs. And I was like, what the hell? And I hadn't even fought yet. So it was just like, it was crazy to me that happened. And then like a fan said he's been to 20 open workouts and no one's ever stayed after to sign autographs. Evidently I did like some new stuff. So it was pretty wild in that sense too.
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of fans would want to have you back sometime soon. And hopefully that would be against Ren, right? So is that all you have against Ren? He's just kind of an asshole?
Yeah, but let's be honest. Like, he's the golden goose. You know what I mean? If I beat him, my popularity goes through the roof. I'm like, Lord, do what you did for Ren versus Asakura, but for me versus Ren. You know what I mean? Like, because that's how he exploded in popularity, right?
Yeah.
He got popular by beating the guy. So if I beat the guy who beat the guy, I steal all of his momentum and all that. And then, you know, it's just like, I wasn't joking when I said, if they want to give me an easy fight like Ren Hiramoto, I will gladly take it. He's 4-3, you know? Don't get me wrong, extremely skilled, but this is an MMA fight. If we clinch up, it would take him 10 years to catch up to me in terms of what I can do to him on the ground, what I can do to him in the clinch. Like, it would be stupid of me to just stand in front of him and kickbox him for 3 rounds. You know what I mean? So I have so much more experience. I have more finishes via choke than he has fights. So there's such a massive skill gap here, an experience gap. Like, you can't mess with me if you have less than 10 fights. It's just not going to happen. So I meant it. I wasn't talking trash. I was like, if you want to give me an easy fight like Ren Hiramoto, I will gladly take that. Like I said, Matsushima was super dangerous. I was like, give me an easy fight, please.
Right. Yeah. If you beat Ren, your popularity would skyrocket. Like, it would be pretty crazy. And it looks like he's down, so I don't see why the fight won't happen. It all depends on RIZIN. But if enough fans want to watch it, RIZIN wouldn't have a problem, because they just want to put on fights that people want to watch. So I think he's pretty interested in fighting you as well, since his original plan didn't pull through against Kubo. Kubo kind of declined. So I guess for you, it's like, thank you, Kubo.
I owe Kubo beer.
So listen, I'm going to talk to Ren in a couple of days. If you like have a message to him, I'll show him and he can react to it.
Just take the fight, man. Take the fight. Don't play some behind the scenes, all that with the RIZIN PR team and stuff like that. I don't want to hear any of that. Either you're in for the fight or don't waste my time. So you can send him that.
Will do. So, like, you know, the Hirachirus and the Asashins and that group, like, what fans are going to say, well, on X is like, I'm a Hirachiru because I make a lot of videos with Ren. But, like, it's good for both of you guys. It's a good fight for Ren, and it's definitely a good fight for you. And also, it seems like it's going to be a entertaining match. So I'm pretty into it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but if Ren manages to beat me, that cements his legitimacy as an MMA fighter. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Because beating Asakura and me back to back, we both have great records. We both have a lot of experience in MMA. So that would definitely put him on the map as an actual contender, as an actual threat to somebody that, you know, you would want to see if he really wants to go to the UFC. You know, in his last 2 wins, he beats guys with triple, quadruple the experience he has. That's like, those are big numbers for him. And then for me, I beat him. I become a rock star in Japan. So it's win-win for both of us. So I don't see why he wouldn't take it.
I agree. I like it. So let's say Ren doesn't work out. Is there another featherweight that you have in mind?